Have you ever felt it? That quiet ache deep within, a sense of being perpetually swept along by an unseen current. Days blur into weeks, weeks into months, and suddenly another year has gone, leaving behind only a faint echo of your own presence. We move, we strive, we accomplish, yet sometimes, beneath the surface of all that motion, there's a profound exhaustion that no amount of sleep seems to touch. It's the fatigue of the soul, a weariness that whispers, "Am I truly living, or am I just endlessly moving?" This feeling, this slow drain on our inner reserves, often comes from a deep disconnection, a forgotten language of the self that cries out for attention in the cacophony of our busy lives. We keep pushing, believing that the next milestone, the next achievement, will finally bring us that elusive peace, but it rarely does. Instead, the current only seems to gather strength, pulling us further from the shores of our own being, leaving us stranded in a sea of perpetual doing. We yearn for a moment of quiet, a space to simply breathe, but the world around us, and often the world within us, seems to resist this fundamental need. We live in a world that valorizes constant motion. To stop is often perceived as a weakness, a failure, a sign that we're falling behind. There's a relentless hum of expectation, an unspoken command to always be productive, always be on. We fill our schedules to the brim, believing that a full calendar equates to a full life. But what if, in this ceaseless striving, we are inadvertently starving the very parts of ourselves that need tending? What if the constant pursuit of external goals keeps us from noticing the cracks forming within? The quiet pleas of our own spirit, the silent tears of an overwhelmed heart. We run on autopilot, reacting to every external demand, every notification, every perceived urgency. Our minds race, replaying past worries, rehearsing future anxieties, rarely truly present in the sacred now. This continuous engagement, this refusal to slow down, becomes a barrier. It's a subtle yet powerful form of self-abandonment, where we prioritize everything and everyone else over the deepest needs of our own inner world. The very energy we expend, trying to fix things from the outside, to outrun our discomfort, might be the very energy preventing us from truly healing from within, from feeling whole again. We become experts at distraction, masters of avoidance, all to escape the profound vulnerability that stillness can reveal. But what happens when the current finally slows, even for a moment? What happens when you intentionally step off the relentless treadmill? For many, the initial sensation is discomfort. An anxiety might surge, a fear of what might surface in the quiet, what truths you might have to face without the shield of constant activity. It's like stepping into a silent room after being in a bustling crowd. The sudden lack of noise can feel overwhelming, almost deafening. Yet, it is precisely in this deliberate act of stopping, this conscious choice to pause, that the first seeds of healing begin to sprout. Healing, you see, is not about finding more things to do. It's about choosing to do less. It's not about adding more to your life, but about creating space by removing the unnecessary, by shedding the layers of external expectation. It's the radical act of allowing yourself to simply obey, without agenda, without purpose, without the pressure to perform or achieve. This pause isn't idleness. It's an active, profound engagement with your own existence. It's giving your soul permission to catch its breath, to reorient itself, to remember its own rhythm, its inherent wisdom. It's a journey not of outward movement, but of gentle, inward turning, a quiet pilgrimage back to the core of who you truly are. When we pause, truly pause, the initial discomfort often gives way to a deeper unfolding. It's like a tightly clenched fist slowly relaxing, revealing what was held so tightly within. The noise of the world begins to recede, and a different kind of sound emerges. The quiet hum of your own inner landscape, the gentle beating of your own heart. This is where you might finally hear the whispers of your heart, the forgotten longings, the unacknowledged pains that have been buried under layers of activity and obligation. In the stillness, emotions that were too overwhelming to face while moving fast can gently surface. Grief, sadness, anger, fear, they are not threats but messengers, carrying vital information about your needs and experiences. By pausing, we create a safe harbor for these feelings to arrive, to be seen, to be acknowledged without judgment, without the immediate impulse to fix or deny them. We learn to sit with them, not to solve them immediately, but to simply witness them with compassionate presence. This is where the profound work of inner healing truly begins. It's in these moments of quiet observation that we start to disentangle our authentic self from the expectations and demands of the external world. We begin to understand that the wound is not just pain, but also a pathway to deeper understanding, profound self-compassion, and a more resilient spirit. Learning to pause is a gradual unlearning of old habits and a gentle cultivation of new ones. It's not a one-time event, but a continuous practice, a sacred rhythm we weave into the fabric of our days. It might be a few minutes of silent contemplation with your morning tea, a deliberate moment to watch the sunrise, a walk where your only intention is to feel the ground beneath your feet and the air on your skin. It could be closing your eyes for a moment in the middle of a busy day, just to center yourself, to return to your breath. It's about creating tiny islands of stillness in the ocean of your life, places where you can drop anchor and simply exist, allowing the tides to pass without sweeping you away. In these moments, you begin to reclaim ownership of your time, your energy, and your inner peace. You learn to listen to the subtle signals of your body and your spirit, recognizing when you're nearing depletion long before you crash. This is not about escaping life, but about engaging with it more deeply, more consciously, with a renewed sense of purpose and presence. It's about choosing presence over constant progression, choosing reflection over reaction. It's about remembering that your worth is not tied to your output but to your very being, your intrinsic value as a living soul. As you embrace this sacred art of pausing, you will find a profound shift. The relentless current no longer holds the same tyrannical power over you. You learn to navigate its waters with greater grace and wisdom, knowing that you can always return to your inner sanctuary, your anchor of stillness. Healing then becomes a gentle, ongoing conversation with yourself, an intimate dance between action and stillness, between engagement and reflection. You discover resilience you didn't know you possessed, and a quiet strength that doesn't need to prove itself to anyone. The world may still be loud, life may still bring its challenges and its storms, but you will carry within you a deepening reservoir of peace, an inner refuge that no external chaos can disturb. This peace isn't the absence of turmoil, but the unwavering presence of self amidst it all. It is the quiet acceptance that sometimes the most profound progress we can make is to simply stop, breathe, and allow ourselves to be. For in the gentle, courageous act of pausing, we do not fall behind. We finally catch up to ourselves. We integrate our fragmented parts, and we find our way home to the wholeness that has always resided within.